Today, you're connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Newsbreak for Monday, February 6th. I'm Derek Russell. Remember, you can watch Newsbreak each weekday at 7 a.m. at djournal.com, Facebook, YouTube, or the Daily Journal's mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. First on today's show, let's take a look at today's weather forecast. We've got more rain in the forecast this week. Today calls for 60% chance of rain, high of 73 and a low of 58. Your 3-day outlook: Tuesday, a 90% chance of thunderstorms, high of 69 and a low of 56. Wednesday, a high of 69 and a low of 36 with a 70% chance of rain. And Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 47 and a low of 28. For more weather, visit djournal.com/weather. Our top stories for this Monday: the possibility of a statewide lottery has become an issue in the Mississippi House of Representatives despite the strong opposition of Speaker Philip Gunn. Gunn must decide in the coming days whether an amendment offered by Plantersville Democrat Steve Holland was made properly. Holland made the amendment for a lottery to legislation dealing with regulating fantasy sports gaming. A point of order was raised immediately, saying that the amendment violated House rules. Action has been postponed while the Speaker researches the issue, and the Holland amendment is not the only landmine during the current session for Gunn and others opposed to a lottery. Last week, Senate Judiciary A Chair Mark Baker added language for a lottery to a bill that initially dealt with the state hospital. It passed out of his committee in a matter of minutes. It still remains to be seen whether Baker calls the bill up for consideration by the House before Thursday's deadline. Northeast Mississippi is well represented among this year's Governor's Award winners. Both the Tupelo Public School District and the Create Foundation are being recognized for their community partnerships. The Governor's Awards are given each year by the Mississippi Association of Partners in Education to school districts, community organizations, and other groups who have forged impactful partnerships within the communities they serve. The Tupelo School District was awarded the highest honor, a Governor's Award of Distinction. It recognizes the district's Growing Healthy Waves program in partnership with Food Corps of Mississippi. The program promotes healthy eating habits in Tupelo schools by providing nutrition education and bringing healthy and locally sourced fruits and vegetables into cafeterias. Students learn to plant and tend to gardens and to cook with the produce they harvest. The Create Foundation was awarded for its partnership with schools across the Northeast Mississippi region, particularly through its Imagine the Possibilities Career Expo. In 2016, Create expanded the event to serve more than 7,000 students from 17 counties. Mississippi micro-breweries have high hopes in pending legislation that would make sales at breweries legal. Last week, the Mississippi House of Representatives passed a bill allowing in-state breweries to sell up to 576 ounces per day per customer. That is roughly 2 cases of beer. The bill allows brewers to sell up to 10% of their annual production, or 1,500 barrels, whichever is less. That would be welcome news to Ken Coleman, who started 1817 Brewery in Okolona 2 years ago. His plans were to eventually move to a bigger location where he could offer tours, tastings, and beer sales on site. But selling beer at the brewery is not an option under current law. Right now, licensed breweries are only allowed to sell their products to a licensed wholesaler. Coleman said that results in missed sales opportunities. The bill that passed the House last week still needs Senate approval. Similar legislation was brought up last year but saw no action due to lack of support. A broader coalition was formed to support the bill this year. Mississippi now has 9 breweries up and running, with a handful waiting in the wings. And in sports, both the Ole Miss and Mississippi State men's basketball teams won on Saturday. Each team now has 5 wins and 5 losses in SEC play. Mississippi State rallied to defeat Tennessee 64-59 in Starkville. The Bulldogs missed their first 8 shots and fell behind the Vols by 19 points in the first half. But MSU outscored Tennessee 41-18 over the final 18 minutes to get the win. The Bulldogs are at Auburn on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Ole Miss had just 8 turnovers in an 81-74 road win against Vanderbilt. Sebastian Saez recorded his SEC-leading 16th double-double with 16 rebounds and 10 points. DeAndre Burnett and Terrence Davis each scored 17 points. The Rebels are at Tennessee on Wednesday. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Monday. Don't forget that this show is one of the many online offerings that get you news off the page and on the go. We also have the Memo podcast, which delves deeper into the local news in Northeast Mississippi with analysis and commentary. You can listen at memo.djournal.com or wherever podcasts can be downloaded. Each story discussed today you can find in your daily journal or online at djournal.com, where you can find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday at 7 a.m. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Russell.